So in this video, we are going to start the new chapter, that is cyber ethic. So before starting this chapter and before going to the topic, we should know the word cyber ethic. What does the mean, right? So before understanding what is cyber ethic, we should know what is ethic. So here I have written the definition of ethic. Ethics define the element important to human morals. So, what quality, what things, element is important for human moral? That is ethic. And if we talk about the cyber ethic, so the quality, the rules, the moral, the behavior should followed by every people while using internet. That is called as cyber ethic. You can see cyberethic deal with the moral principles or the code of conduct which is to be followed by the people while using online services. Now this quality, this cyber ethic is compulsory and important moral values for every people, those who are using internet. That is the concept. Because we come across with many people on internet, we do a lot of transaction online, we save our important information on internet. All of you know about the cloud server. Okay, in cloud server we store our important information files, right? Our contact list of our mobile and the data, important files of our computer we can store in cloud storage, right? And like all of you know about the different server, like Facebook server we have. Okay, Google server is there, so Google Drive is there, cloud storage. So we store a lot of information in that. So that is very easy for the people to see those information, right? What we have stored on internet, or easily they can retrieve the information. They can because many people they keep eyes on our activity, what we do to perform some illegal activities. Okay, so we should keep these things in our mind, that the moral behavior, moral values we should keep in our mind when we use internet or online services, right? So that is called as cyber ethic. So few points are written about this cyber ethic. The first is never try to harm other people. See, that is very common nowadays. We do communication, we send a lot of messages to the people online. We text the message either in the form of text, or we can send audio file, we are sending video files we send. So many times we do conversation. So we should keep in our mind that we should not harm to the people, because in our society you're watching many places, many people they speak wrong things, wrong word, they harm other people's physically, mentally. So if we are using this online service, we are using internet, so it is our responsibility. Okay, so in this world of internet, in the world of cyber, we should keep this thing in our mind, that we should not harm to the people. That is the point. Next is always give respect to others. That things, that moral. Nowadays, I'm seeing the people are losing these things. I'm seeing on the market, in many places outside in our society, they don't respect others. And many time in television, in news, we are watching so many things. So many cases are there in our eyes, that the people they are losing this quality of respecting others. So we should keep in our mind that being a responsible citizen of our country, when we are using this online service, we should respect others. Okay, maybe the family members, friends, or one very important thing, that when we use online service, the many unknown people are also in our contact, right? So we should keep in our mind that we should respect others. Never try to steal important or confidential information. See, this internet www is a pool of information, Okay, millions, billions of websites are there, web pages are there. Many people they create, they have created their company's information. Okay, the information about their company, about their institute, about their work. So many web pages are there. They contain a lot of information. So it is telling that we should not steal the information, because that stealing by the thief, what we are seeing in our society, we are seeing every day in the newspaper also, the news channel also, we watch about the many thieves are there, they are stealing the things of others. So in the world of internet also that is happening, that people are stealing the information. So it is our responsibility, it should be the moral values of each and every people, that we should keep in our mind, that we should not steal the information. Do not copy information which is protected by Copyright Act. The next topic we have in our syllabus, we will see what are the different copyright acts are there. Because of so this act is some laws are there, some punishments are also there if someone is breaking this act or rules of copyright. Because many company they're having websites, some informations are there. So without that publisher, without that honors information, any unknown people cannot use those content, those information, right? So that is Copyright Act. So we should not copy these information which is protected by the Copyright Act. Never spread wrong information. Nowadays I'm watching on the internet, in WhatsApp, in Facebook, many fake news are coming, many fake news. So sometimes people are thinking just receiving the message and forwarding to the people without knowing that whether it is original in message, correct message, or it is fake message. Just receiving and forwarding to the others. So whenever we receive some message, we should think whether it is a correct message, or what will be the impact, what will happen if we spread this message in our society, in our friends or family members. So we should think about this. Never download pirated software. That is very important thing, we should take care, because if you are using computer, mobile phone, many applications we download every day, right? So on internet many company they are developing the software, they're putting on internet, they are selling them actually, they sell those software services. So if people are simply they are downloading and they are making it copy, they're copying it and then again they're reselling in the market, in shop. If you'll go for just simple formatting the computer, normally 10,000 12,000 price is there for the Windows operating system, approximate. The people what they are doing, they are just buying one software and then making it copies. And whenever people are going to the shop for formatting the computer, they are taking charge for 300 400 rupees. So what they are doing, they're just making the copy of original software and then they are selling it. So that is called piracy. So we should think about this. Never download the pirated software. If some pirated softwares are there, we should not buy or we should not use them. We should not download. Never keep eye on other system. That is things people are watching others' activity, whether in our society also. You can see that is common thing, that in the neighbors, the people are watching others' house, what is happening, what talkings are going on, what activity is happening, who is shouting, who is scolding others. This type of mentality is there of people, human nature actually. They keep eye on others' activity. So if we are using internet, online services we are using, so we should keep in our mind that we should not actually keep eyes on others' system or activity. Never interfere in others' work. That is very important. That if we are doing some work and some other people are also doing their work, so we should not interfere their work. Okay, whatever the work they are doing, just let them do. That is the moral actually. So these all the points are related with the moral values in our life while using internet. So that is called as cyber ethic. Okay. Okay. So in this chapter, cyber ethics, our next topic is software licensing. That is very important because uh, for different type of activity we do in our computer, we need to install the software. So many times we download the software because software is not easily available in market. Okay, it is available, but because of lack of time, if you want to do some work and you need to get download that, you need to use a particular software. So what we do, we can, it's a very simple method because internet connection is there, it's very common uh, in our place. So we can just download, we search in any search engine that software, and the option we find for to download the particular software, right? So when we download, then license key is required. Sometimes some software they ask for the license key to be inserted while installing the software, and some of the software they don't require any license key. So we are talking about the software licensing now. If I will give you the most common example, that antivirus, all of we install antivirus in our computer, right? Because antivirus is very important. So when we install antivirus, it will ask for the license key. Or sometime when the time is and it is over, so it will give the message that license key has been expired. You need to get it renewed. So that is the use of license key. With each and every software, the license is there, or in some software we don't have to use the license key. So actually, if you talk about the license, three type of licensing are there. First is open source software. So this software, generally this software came in around 1980. Okay, the idea gave by Andrew Flugelman in 1980. So the concept of this software was to develop free software for everyone. So the license they were using, that is called GPL, General Public License. So the software, whatever they are developing under this open source software, it use general public license. It means it is open source also. So open source software means the software or the code program, actually the coding part is open for everyone. It means freely we can download this software, we can install in our computer, we can use, and the source code, the coding which is used in any programming language to develop the software, that source code is open. It means we can modify the that code part. Okay, anyone can modify, they can change the source code, they can develop again the new, they can change the software according to their own requirement, and then again they can put on internet so that other people can download that updated software, we can say. That is open source. No charges required, no money is required to download this software, and freely it is available on internet. That is open source software. Then second is freeware. So the freeware software is completely free of cost. That is completely free of cost. Freely we can download, we can install in our computer, but modification we cannot do. The company or the person or the author who has developed this software, freeware software, that person or that company is only responsible to modify the software, to change the software source code of this freeware software. If we have downloaded this free software, so we can just use, that is copyright protected. Okay, that is still the product of honors. So, but we don't know uh, if the company, when the company will take charge or money for this software. Now it is free of cost, freeware. We are freely, we have downloaded, we have installed in our computer. It is free, but we don't know in future, because it is copyright protected. That honor is still that person only, the company. So later on, if the company will take charge or money, or they can modify the software, so it is responsibility of that or choices of that particular owner or company. Okay, that is called freeware. Third one is shareware. So actually, the shareware word or this type of software started developing in 1980. Okay, but actually in 1990 it become more and more popular. Many people they started developing these type of shareware software. So what is shareware software? See, in shareware, firstly, this software will be free of cost. Okay, on internet very easily we can download, we can get it free of cost. But when we install in our computer, it will be limited version it will give, limited service it will provide. Okay, if we want to use the complete service of that particular software, then we need to buy it, we need to get license. Okay, or this type of shareware software we can download. The best example, antivirus only. Many antivirus are there, games are there on internet, we can download, we can use the software for a specific time, for few days. After that days it will ask for license key, we need to buy, we need to pay money for this software. That is called shareware. Okay, so three type of licenses are there. Open source software, that is free of cost, available on internet, we can download, we can modify also this open source, and then again it can be redistributed. Second is freeware. So it completely, it is free of cost, no money is required, but still owner is responsible, or it is choice of owner, decision of owner, that whether till when he is providing this software as free of cost. If in future he will take money, or he will take charge, or he will try to modify the software, that is the decision of the owner. It is copyright protected, no one can modify, no one can change this software. Third one is shareware. Firstly, it is free of cost, we can use, but later on it will provide limited service. We need to renew the license key, we need to buy the license key by paying the money. So that is called shareware. Now, we already talked about this open source software. Now, what is the open source movement? So in a society, social, the how this open source can work, so that is called as open source movement. So first is integrate of the author's source code. So actually, if you're talking about the open source software, so suppose this is one open source software. So as I told you already, that open source concept means freely it can be downloaded and it can be modified by anyone, and then again it can be redistributed. But once condition is there, the author's source code must be there. It means the complete software they will not give to change, to modify. Still, the source code of author, because if someone has developed the software, he don't want, or she don't want, or developer will not uh, he will not willing to completely change this software by anyone, right? At least the company name, the person name, those who have developed, or the developer name, developer source code, the base should be there, base coding. So that's why it will not allow to change the software completely, but at least the source code of this authors should be there. It cannot be modified, but rest of the things can be modified, this source code. That is first condition. Second is free redistribution. It means if we have downloaded this software, or some software, if I have downloaded that open source software and I have changed it, I have modified it, okay, I made it more attractive, then again I can redistribute, I can give to others, I can put on internet so other people can also download. But it should be free. I should not take money for changing the source code or to modify the software. Freely I download it, I modified, freely I need to give to the people. That is the condition, free redistribution. No discrimination against the person or group. It means this license key, this type of open source software is not limited to a particular person or a group. It should not be limited. Anyone can use, anyone in the society, in this world, those who want to download, those who want to use, they can modify. That is concept. Next is no discrimination against the field of endeavor. The field in which the software is being used or can be used It is not limited. Anyone can use for any business. Like example, MS Word, the software we can download. We need to purchase it actually. So when we use this, so we can use for personal purpose at our home. The student can use to prepare the presentation, to make the document. Teacher is also using to type the document. In office also, anywhere it can be used. So here under this condition, no discriminating against the field of endeavor. In any type of business, it can be used. The open source software. Source code. So again, the same concept. The It will not allow to change or modify the complete coding. At least the source code should be there. And if someone has downloaded this open source software and modified, so he so the person is again redistributing it. It means he is giving to other people. So the source code also he has to give. Okay. So that is the concept. The complete coding here he has to give to the people so that other people can also modify. The next one is derived work. If someone has modified, okay, someone has modified, so that work also he need to give. The base software is there. Someone has derived something. Okay, someone has developed they have some added some more thing in that open source software. So if this open source software is trying to redistribute or giving to other, so complete the derived work also he has to give. That is the condition. Next is distribution of the license. If we have downloaded the open source software and modified, then the license key also we have to give. That general public license I told already. In open source software it use general public license, GPL, that is free of cost. So that common key, license key also he has to give. Last one is license must not restrict other software. If we have downloaded this open source software and we modified, and then we are giving to other people the GPL, general public license also we are giving, then that license should not include any other software. It should not restrict that the open source software what we are downloaded, modified, that software we are giving to others. It should not include any other software, the different software with that license under the general public license. Okay, so that is a different condition or movement under the of open source software. The next topic is intellectual property right. It means when we in the society also you are saying that your house, your car, your land, your property belongs to you, right? No one should steal those things without your permission. If someone is trying to steal, so that is illegal. It is crime. You can take help of police for complaint. So in this world of internet also, if we have developed some software, or some developer has developed some software or some services, they are providing online services. So what are the property rights are there? Intellectual property rights. So because we can see now here four type of property rights are there. First is patent, second is trademark, third one is design protection, fourth is copyright. So first thing is patent. What is patent? So generally this patent word is used when people they invent something, new invention they do. So when they do some new invention, they invented something, the people, so they need to get patented. It means that invention belong to that particular person. No one can use that invention without their permission. If someone is trying to steal those things, steal those inventions, so that is illegal or crime. That is patent. So now generally people can use some logo, okay, or some information. It can be with that particular invention. Second is trademark. So generally trademark is can be used as a symbol, as a mark, as any character, the company logo with the product or services. So these mark, this logo will I will help to the people to identify or to make difference between the original product or duplicate product, or the people can know about the product, who has invented, who has developed this product. So that is called as trademark. In every product they are printing the trademark character. It can be mark or logo. Okay, generally we are seeing in every product it is there. So it represent that particular product has been developed by the particular person or developer. That is the thing. Next is design protection. If some people is doing some design, they have made some models, some designs are there. So those designs should not steal or used by other. That is called as design protection. So there is some law, there are some act, okay, in our country, that if someone is trying to steal the design of the particular product of others or for any people, then they can so that is illegal, it is crime. Okay, so that is one of the property right. And the last one is copyright. So in many product, in many website, web page, or in product also, we are seeing this type of symbol. Okay, so that's this symbol represent the copyright. It means if in particular product or software, this symbol we are seeing, that it means that particular company, a particular developer is whole soul owner of that particular product. No one can take that product without the permission of that owner. No one can modify, no one can change that things which belong to someone. Okay, that is called copyright. So the honor is having some exclusion. You can see now 5 exclusive rights are there of the copyright honor. First one is fix or store the information in tangible form. It is the choice or decision of the owner to fix the particular product or to store somewhere. Okay. Second is reproduce the copyrighted material. So it is the decision or choice of the owner. Owner only can reproduce. Other people cannot. That is the condition. Third one is sell. The copyrighted material can be sell, can be rent or lease or distributed in the public. Okay. So that is responsibility or the decision of the owner only. No one can do this. Fourth one is publicly display the material. It is a choice of the owner, that if the owner want to publicly show or display the product in the public, that is the owner's choice. No one can interfere in between. Fifth point, prepare derivative works based on the copyrighted material. That some copyrighted material is there, some product is there, so that owner can derive, can use the same product. Okay, he can make some other product based on that copyrighted material, but other people cannot use that that derivative work. So other cannot derive any other product based on the copyrighted material. It is a decision of owners only. So only that much is the things. Okay, once again you can see now under the software licensing, we have seen 3 types of licensings are there, and for open source software some movements are there, how it can be distributed, what are the limitations are there, what are the rules are there to distribute or to redistribute the open source software. And then we have seen the intellectual property right. 4 types of property rights are there. Patent is used for some invention. Trademark are the logos, can be any mark, it can be any symbol in any product which differentiate between the other product. And design protection, this is also one property right. If anyone has designed something, then no one can use that design. That is a decision of honor only, or without taking permission. If by taking permission, the people can take permission from the owners, right? So that is a different thing. But without taking permission from the owner, that is illegal crime. Copyright, again, this symbol can be used in any product to represent the whole sole owner of the particular product or service or
Okay,
software.
so students, our next topic in this chapter is intellectual property infringement. So just now we have seen that what are the
uh, intellectual property rights we have, like patent is there, copyright, trademark. Okay, so now what do you mean by infringement? So it means that if some product is patented by someone or by some company, or if it is copyrighted by some person or company, then if some strange person or any unknown people are using those product or those patent, those code, those copyrighted product, if some other people are using without information of the owner or without permission of the owners, so that is called as infringement. Okay, so now we will see how many type of infringements are there. First is patent infringement, second is trademark infringement, and third is copyright infringement. What is first is that is patent infringement. So what is that? So if some people has invented something, some invention has been done by some people, so they have get patented. Okay, those product, those uh, property, or those services, okay, they have got patented it. Now if some people, unknown people or strange people are trying to use, they're using that product, that service, that property without the permission of that owner. So that is called as patent infringement. So this is some law is there. So according to these law, we can say that using the patent of some other people of without the permission of owner is the criminal offense. So it is a crime. Next is trademark infringement. Again, as we know, the trademark means the logo or any mark. So that is used to identify the product, or that is the unique ID or identity for any product. In nowadays, in every product we can see this type of logo is there, mark is there of that particular company, so we can identify that this is the original product. Okay, if some other people are using same logo, same mark in their product, okay, so generally the people are using to when they are developing or using some duplicate product. Okay, so and they are launching the duplicate product in the market, so they will just steal the logo or mark of original product and they will put on their duplicate product to sell those things. That is also a crime. So this is called as trademark infringement. Next one is copyright infringement. If some product is copyrighted, it means that that product belong to the particular owner, whole sole owner. No one can use, no one can reproduce that product, no one can even sell or rent, or other people, they don't have any right on that particular product. So if the particular product is belongs to particular person who has copyrighted that product, so it belongs to him or that company. No one can use that. If someone is using, that is crime and is called as copyright infringement. Okay, now, so the next topic we have got in this chapter, that is plagiarism. What is plagiarism? So actually this word plagiarism is uh, developed, or we can say it's used in a Latin word. It is derived from the Latin word plagiare. The meaning of this plagiarism is, we can say, the stealing of ideas, thoughts, invention of other people. Like we are seeing in society, many thieves are there. They steal the property of others. Okay, so this here in the world of internet or in the world of cyber, we can say if some people are trying to steal the ideas, thought, invention of other people, they are stealing. That is called as plagiarism. Okay, so now how we can protect this plagiarism? It means if we, because that is possible that many time we are studying in school, you people are doing your study, so many times the teachers are asking you people to prepare the presentation, to prepare some seminar, to prepare some document. So what we people are doing, we are just downloading from internet for several reason, and we are just using in our presentation, our document. Okay, so when we are using others thought or others ideas or others information in our page, then how we can protect, okay, how we can protect the things from the plagiarism. So first is acknowledging the source. It means whenever we use the other thoughts or idea, then we need to acknowledge, okay, that this code, this thing, this dialogue or this text what we are using, it is said by this person, or it is used, it is taken from this book, or it is taken from this website, this web page. We need to refer, we need to acknowledge that. Second point is take permission from the author. So that is also one very important thing, that we can take permission from the authors, very important. So in every company website or in any every book, author name is there, contact numbers are there, so we can make a call, we can take permission from them. If they are giving permission to use those things in our, suppose one person, one author is there, he has written some books, and if I am also trying to write one book, okay, so in my book I'm just using the original book's content. So I need to take permission from the authors that I'm using your content in my book or in my presentation or in my document. If the author is giving permission, then only I should use, otherwise I should not use. That is the next is read and reframe. That many time it is happening that we are developing some things, some product we are developing, or some books we are writing, some presentation we are making, some document we are creating. So before that we can read several books, we can visit several websites, we can take the ideas. Okay, after taking the ideas, once we got all the information we can collect, then we can reframe. It means we can write those things in new form, in our own word. That is also possible, so that we can do at least. So as it is, we should not copy the original content. Read, get idea, and try to uh, write in your own word the new things, creative work. That is the idea behind this. And the last one is use quotations. So generally whenever we are writing some content, we are preparing the presentation, we are creating some document, so we can use the double quotation that you people are doing. In many books also it is written, if some dialogues are sorry, if some dialogue is there, some informations are there, we are using others content, other information, so in that case we are using this double quotation, that this content is said by some other people, or some dialogue is, or some text, some information is said by someone, so we can put in within double quotation. So that is also one way to acknowledge the things, and we can protect the this type of plagiarism.